Hello, everybody, and welcome to the first Advanced Seedling out of 4. And great that you join in and want to learn something about harp seedlings, what to do, what are they, what to do with them, what are they good for, and so on and so on. My name is Stephanie Bieber. I'm a harp player and harp teacher from Frankfurt in Germany. This is why I have a certain German accent. And I have developed this idea of harp seedlings when I tried to get people into intuitive playing and found out that it's not so easy for everybody, especially when people are used to play from sheet music. Basically, what are harp seedlings? Harp seedlings are tiny prompts, like tiny experiments as described in this book, highly recommended by Anne-Laure Lecomte. I don't get any money for that. I just recommend to read that book. And then you get an idea about what is happening in the brain when you experiment instead of trying to get somewhere. So seedlings basically have the idea of not reaching a goal in the future, but getting into a process of exploring, experiencing, and growing while doing something. And what is helpful for getting started is to have a certain framework that gives you orientation. And I have chosen a piece from my book Winterwood Nights, which is also available in English. It's a fairy tale for adults about melancholy of the autumn and winter time, the growing darkness, and about friendship, about companionship, about hope, about love, and about the fact that death might not be the end. And I have written the music to this fairy tale, 22 pieces, I think, and one of the pieces is called Winter Sprouts, and it makes the winter grows the winter green evergreen plants that grow out from the earth. It makes it audible. And now I have extracted one tiny seedling from this piece, and it's not the piece, it's just an element of the piece. And this is what I always teach people: take an element from a piece and get into free play with that. I will transpose it to the key of C major. That means if you have levers on your harp, put your levers to E, A, and B levers up, and then you are in C major. And the framework is as follows. I'm choosing the shape of a fifth in my left hand, and that's a chord shape. It's the root note of a chord and the fifth note of a chord. And the image is that I leave out 3 strings in the middle. And I do that with my left hand or the bass hand. In case you play left-handed, then the bass hand would be the right hand. But I do it with the left hand now. And I play this chord shape like this. So I play the fifth root note first and fifth note second. Okay? And I repeat that for quite a while. And this is a picking pattern. We have a chord shape. It's a fingering shape. This is one framework. And the picking pattern is 3-1. That's the second framework. And the rhythm pattern from my left hand is quarter notes. 1 and 2 and 1 and 2 and, or 1 and 2 and 3 and 4, and if you like. Okay, first framework. Second framework is the rhythm pattern for your upper hand, which is the right hand for most of us. And I'm using only one finger for now. And I will play a single note into the gaps of my bass, into the time gaps. That means on countings and like 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and you see that now I chose to play the C. But now the intuitive work starts. That is, start moving the note in your upper hand and go to the next note and listen to how that sounds in relation to your chord shape and your chord, not your chord shape, but the chord that you play in your left hand. And maybe you will find this more dissonant than the C was. Can you hear that? So this is a consonance, as we call it in a technical term, and the D is more a dissonant sound, but it's not wrong, it's what it is. And just experience the character of this dissonance, experience the sound and feel how it feels like. Try to maybe you have an association like a smell or a temperature or an image, a situation, something like that. And now try to go back from this dissonance to the consonance, which is exactly in the neighborhood, and feel the effect of that. This is tension and this is release. And you can go on. Go to the dissonance on D. Stay for a while to raise the tension, to even have more tension, and then go up a step. Oh, what happens here? Now we land in the third note of the C scale. The C scale is the scale that starts on C. And because we play on C down here all the time, C is the root note of the mode or scale that we are playing. And I don't want to go into modes now. I just want to let you know C is the first step of the scale for now, because C is also our root note down here. And the first step is consonant and the second step is dissonant. But dissonant is not bad and not wrong. It's just what it is. And then go on to the third step of the scale and listen to that character. Oh, this is, maybe for me this sounds sweet. It's the third step in the major scale. It gives the scale a sweet kind of a character. Very lovely. You always get a smile on your face when you play the third note. And then back to the dissonance and resolve it. And so you can go through all the notes of the scale and listen carefully, how does the F sound in this relationship? Does it want to go on, or can you stay on that F forever? I would say if I would resolve it down to E, this is a beautiful effect. So I explore every single note of my scale and I go stepwise. Now listen to that G. How does that sound? Doesn't it have kind of an opening character, like opening up to something higher than we are only here in the material world? But it's consonants, it's not dissonant. And now go on to the A. Oh, this is even going more beyond. And now the B. Oh, the B really wants to go up to the C because it's the leading note in the scale. So, even if you have no idea about music theory, I will come back. If you have no idea about music theory and about what is a major scale and what is a minor scale and what is a mode and so on, you just have your chord shape C and G, which is, by the way, called a power chord. I don't want to go deeper into that. You just have this shape, and it's like an ostinato pattern. It stays the same all the time. And you have the framework of the rhythm. And then you move through the steps of the scale and you experience the character. You experience also um, the, uh, the, the function of semitone steps, but I haven't talked about that. You can feel it. For instance, the B wants to go up to C because it's only a semitone step apart from the octave note of the scale, which is again the first step of the first letter step of the scale. So a dissonance, which is a semitone step from a consonance, always tends to resolve into the consonance, which is only a semitone step apart. But this is something that you can experience, that you don't have to think about, but if you experience it, then it sticks much better inside your head because it's your own experience and it's not learned from a book. And of course, you also learn about consonances and dissonances. Even you don't even have to name it consonance or dissonance. You just feel the emotion. You feel the energy of these relationships of notes in relation to the root note. And this is what makes you learn the language of music much better than by only playing dots from the notes and reading books about music theory. Okay, and once you have explored all these steps, of course, you can start playing around. I will show you that. So it's, I can move around and just listen if a melody appears. So I can change direction every now and then. And now listen to this beautiful effect of the rhythmic structure of this seedling. It has something very away from the ground. It's not so much grounded because the right hand always goes into the offbeats or onto the offbeats, and that gives it an uplifting character as well. And my suggestion, or advice, if you want to call it like that, is move stepwise and don't jump around too much. Of course, you can jump, but if you jump something like this, it doesn't sound very structured. It sounds bizarre. If you want a bizarre sound, that's fine, but if you want something that sounds a bit more structured, then stepwise movements are functioning better. And if you jump, then resolve the jump into the opposite direction, like now I jumped up and I moved down stepwise. I jumped down and I move up stepwise. I jump up and move down stepwise. Now I jump down and move up stepwise. Okay, so these were quite a lot of explorations, a lot of information, a lot of input. And now it's your turn to go on and with experimenting for 1 week. And make a pact that you say, I will play around with this idea for, let's say, 5 minutes a day, every day, for 1 week, and then I will see what happens. No judgment, just observation, collecting data, collecting information about what happens without judging it to be good or bad, good enough or not good enough, big art or nothing. it's not important. Everything that counts is that you do it, and something will happen, and you will grow. You cannot do anything against it. See you in a week.